All right, we will get started. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the April Brooklyn Developmental Disabilities Council monthly meeting. Hope everyone is doing well and enjoying this weather. We have about 22 people on, so we've more than doubled in the last 2 minutes. I'm glad we waited. So thank you for attending. Before we start today's meeting, we just want to start with, unfortunately, a somber announcement. One of our co-chairs and one of our colleagues, Heather Lifeland, she was a transition coordinator at P373K and the co-chair of our transition committee. Uh, Unfortunately passed away this past week. We found out at the end of last week, and um, it's really, really sad and unfortunate. She was way too young. It was really unexpected, and she will definitely be missed by everyone here that worked with her on the council, and especially all of her students that she helped at her school. I know there was a deep connection. And that being said, I want to let Pilar, who was Heather's co-chair on the committee, say a few words.
Thank you, Brian. Good morning, everyone. And thank you, everyone who has sent messages either to myself or over to Heather's school or through the Epilepsy Foundation to her and her family. It's really greatly appreciated. I wanted to share a letter from Heather's principal, Courtney Rattenberry, that was shared through their school to the staff. And it says, "Dear staff, Heather's passing will leave a tremendous void in our school's community and deeply impact all of those who had privilege of knowing her. Her dedication and commitment to our students were unparalleled as she devoted her entire career to preparing them for their futures and ensuring they had the necessary support to live as independently as possible. Heather's loss is not only felt within our school, but also extends to her family and the District 75 community. Her unwavering passion for work and her genuine care for each and every student she worked with made her an invaluable asset to our school. Heather's legacy will live forever and remain in the lives she touched, the hearts she uplifted, and the countless students she guided towards a brighter future. During this difficult time, it is essential that we work together as a community to support one another and to honor Heather's memory. Let us remember her for the incredible impact she made, the lives she transformed, and the unwavering dedication she displayed. As we mourn the loss of a remarkable colleague and friend, let us also remember to cherish each moment we have together and continue the important work that Heather was so passionate about. Courtney Rattenberry, Principal 373K. So I just wanted to share that. It was shared at Heather's memorial this weekend, and I thought it was very important to share with you all. Heather was a champion of our work and really very passionate about it. And she would want us to continue doing this work. So I just wanted to share that with you all. So thank you.
Thanks, Pilar. I know that wasn't easy for you. Heather will definitely be missed by everyone who worked with her in whatever capacity it was. She was very devoted to this field. All right. Tough to transition from that, but unfortunately we must. So we're going to start today's meeting. We have Chris and Debbie on the phone. They are at the Advisory Council's mini resource fair at the Greenpoint Library. So because they are wearing many hats today, we're letting them go on first to get a few quick updates in. Chris and Debbie?
Me. Debbie's going first, and I'll go right behind.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Brian, and everyone. We all agree we're going to miss Pilar very, very much, and our hearts are with her family and everyone whose lives were touched by her. For Heather, we're so sorry for her. The Brooklyn Family Support Service Advisory Council. Yes, right now we're in the Greenpoint Library. We thank Ms. Carrie Banks from Inclusive Services,
Who's not far from us.
who's not far from us. She's here for letting us have another mini resource fair here. The site is beautiful. I wish everyone could see it. We will also be having our family support no, sorry. The Brooklyn Family Support Advisory Council meeting will be tomorrow virtually through Ring Central. We will be discussing the proposed RFP
And the opening.
and the opening of the Brooklyn Family Support Service Advisory Council's website will be back online. So we are hoping everybody can attend, and we thank everybody for their help and support. And now I'm going to hand this over to Christopher.
And good morning, everyone. Christopher D. Greif, and just giving you my transit update. First, I do want to thank everyone who, since I got honored yesterday for My Time Inc., I know Lucina is listening right now because she's actually on her way to Greenpoint Library. But just to let everyone know, thank you for your honor. As you know, thanks to Brian and Rochelle and Rose and Debbie who did made her the video of the congestion pricing update from Q at the provider information. That information is available on our YouTube channel. Brian, I did email you that, so I hope everyone can get a chance to study the video and email your comments still. You still have time to put your comments in. Right now, as we are not far from the 150th opening of the elevator /151, which is Loma and Metropolitan on the L&G, we just opened that. There are a lot of new things that are coming into MTA, which I did forward it to Brian. Brian did send that out. We want to thank him very much on that because a lot of new things coming down to safety on the transit, and we want to make sure safety is #1 priority. If anyone has questions, please see us tomorrow at the meeting, and I will answer all those questions tomorrow because I know, Brian, you have a tight agenda, and I want to wish everyone happy Pesach. And please be careful, don't eat the sharp corners because they do hurt you near the mouth edges. So happy Pesach, everyone. And thank you for Deborah's birthday wishes also who did send.
Yes, thank you so much. I apologize. I want to thank everyone. I
Yeah.
was very much appreciated. You made my 66th birthday so special. Thank
Yes.
you.
And also, I will see everyone tomorrow. If you make it, good. Not, don't worry. That's why we have recordings. Thank you, Brian. Everyone, have a wonderful day. Chris out.
Thank you, Chris and Debbie. I hope you have a good event today.
We will.
Thank
All
Thank
right,
you.
just a couple of brief updates from the council. So as I said, as people were joining in, our Brooklyn Family Support Fair is coming back Wednesday, June 5th at Brooklyn College Student Center. Registration information is in the chat. We currently have about just below 40 agencies that are registered so far. Please, if you're here from a CCO or school or anywhere else, please spread the word to your families and your community. We definitely want as much family involvement and participation as possible because this is all for them to get the information and the resources of agencies out there. We will have MTA there where you can sign up for Omni cards on the spot. We'll have representatives from the Brooklyn Library, representatives from OPW, and tons of provider agencies with all different types of services. So please check our flyer, check our website, and sign up. Registration is free for people with developmental disabilities and their families and professionals to just attend. Some other quick updates from the council. So in unison, the councils are working with OPW leadership on getting some clarity. I know in a lot of our meetings, there's been questions and concerns regarding the eligibility ADM that came out a few months ago. So we are working with leadership at OPW to get some more information and some explanations that will hopefully alleviate some of the confusion and some of the miscommunication going on or the differing information going on between the boroughs. So we're working on that as well as we're in the process of setting up a meeting with leadership at OPW regarding feedback on the new front door videos. I know in some of the recent council meetings across the boroughs, there's been some feedback on the new approach with the videos as opposed to live front door sessions. OPW is listening. They want to help alleviate any concerns and confusion that is created by that. So they have reached out to the chairs of the 5 DD council boroughs, and they are working with us to help set something up so we can get some feedback, give feedback, and get you guys some updated information on what their plans are. So as you have concerns, anything like that, as you go through the system, as you go through the process, please make sure to reach out to us in the different councils because we do communicate it, we do pass along the information, and OPW does listen. All right, next I will jump to Richard. You no longer need to jump right away, right?
No, you can keep me on the regular schedule. And
All right, so
Initial-
I will pass it over to Nina at OPW for the OPW update.
Thank you, Brian, and good morning, everyone. So I'm going to start today with some updates, with some news at the regional field office. I don't know if you heard, but Delia Tucker, who is our director, she has been our director in Region 4 for several years. She is moving to a new role in our agency. She is appointed and promoted as a statewide operations director, and she will be overseeing five regional offices statewide. And James Doherty will be serving as an acting director during this transition until there is a new director in Region 4. So that's the update from the regional office. So several weeks ago when we met, I spoke about the DSP recruitment campaign that was launched on March 19, the campaign that is meant to elevate the profession of direct support workers and encourage people to consider the career path in our field. OPW invested $9 million in advertising and developing the website or direct support careers. And we work together with Vibrant Brands Corporation and also with the stakeholders. So since the campaign and the website was released, we have received many comments and questions about the self-direction, and there was some misunderstanding that self-direction is not properly addressed on the website. So if you go to the website, which is called directsupportcareers.com, and there is a paragraph that speaks about the careers of DSP workers in self-direction programs. And if someone is looking for a job in a specific county, you'll go to the filter, you will select the county, and then you will come up with the list of the agencies who have registered. And agencies who provide self-direction program, they have the FI symbol. Okay, so this is how the agency, a job seeker can identify what agency is providing FI services. Okay, so I'm gonna move to the next update. As you remember, in November of 2022, OPWDD released a 5-year strategic plan, right? And this was the plan that we all agreed upon, and this is the guidepost for our agency for the next 5 years to stay commitment on everything that we decided to work on in service system improvement. And right now we are in the process for summer strategic plan forums. So OPWDD will be hosting in-person forums in May, June, July. We also will be offering 2 online forums that will provide a space for stakeholders, families to provide their feedback, share their comments, and they will have the opportunity to hear the answers to commonly asked questions. So more information to come in coming weeks. As you're likely aware, the budget is expected to be passed soon. Hopefully next time when we meet, we'll have more updates. Some other things that I wanted to mention, that we have received many comments about the ADMs that are being released, were recently released by OPWDD, and we are working on simplifying our communications around new ADMs. And the most recently released where the ADMs were about Group D HAP service documentation requirements, and also regarding requirements for community rehabilitation residential services delivered in the individual's certified residences. We have released plain language accompanying documents for ADM geared toward the general public. The next thing I want to mention is self-direction program evaluation. So as you know, Guidehouse was selected to undertake the evaluation of self-direction program. And as you know that we are looking for the ways to simplify and to strengthen this model of service, which has been quite popular. And we are looking for the feedback from the people who are currently receiving and using this service. And also we are looking for the feedback from the industry experts who has been delivering this service for the last, for a number of years. The goal is to make an accessible and sustainable option for those who qualify for and choose to self-direct their services, including people from diverse cultural and linguistic backgrounds. And it's also focusing on people without the support of family or friends to help them manage their services and budgets. So self-direction evaluation will begin shortly. We're in beginning stages of ensuring that the contractor's work plan aligns with the objectives that need to be met, and will provide the updates on the next steps once the work plan is finalized. With CCO's evaluation, as you're likely aware, OPWDD has been in contract with the American Institute of Research to conduct an evaluation of CCO practices. And the goal of the evaluation is to understand what aspects of the programs are working well and what areas needs to be improved. And we are offering, and part of the evaluation, American Institute of Research will be launching 2 online surveys, one for the care managers to better understand their role and experience in providing care management to people with developmental disabilities. The other survey is for providers to gain the insight and into the experience working with CCOs, and outreach to individuals receiving CCO services and their families will begin in the spring and summer through various mechanisms, including feedback, surveys, and forums, and information will be shared on these opportunities as it becomes available. And with the managed care, I want to go give managed care. As you know, the Guidehouse is also evaluating the managed care proposal, and the final report from the managed care evaluation is due this spring. And as it was stated previously by OPWDD, we have not made a decision on whether or not to utilize managed care outside of the existing demonstration plan, which is the FIDA IDD plan operated by BHP at this time. So, and this is all for me for today. Thank you. Any questions?
Brian, you're muted.
I just realized I was talking to myself. Thank you, Nina. I don't see any questions or any hands. Does anyone have any questions for Nina at this time? All
I
right.
would like to know what FIDA is.
FIDA, okay. So you caught me right there, David. Richard, can you help me? If not, I'll have to go and quickly check.
Afraid you were going to do that.
It is the okay. Go ahead.
Federal,
I'm gonna get back to that answer in a minute. It's one of the plans, one of the care management plans that we have individuals, some individuals enrolled right now. I just don't want to misspeak on that.
Thank you for asking that though, David, because I know in our world we use a lot of acronyms, and sometimes acronyms start all blending together and we forget what all of them stand for, and we just expect everyone to know the language we speak here. So that brings up a good point. If we ever say anything on this meeting that people aren't sure of, please just ask.
But Brian, you Google it while we're, I know it's federal and it's for the people who are duly eligible for
Yeah.
Medicare and Medicaid.
So fully integrated duals advantage
Mhm.
for individuals with intellectual and developmental disability. So it's FIDA/IDD. And it's basically looking at the new model of system service. But fully integrated duals advantage is FIDA.
Thank you, Brian.
You're welcome. All right. Any other questions before we free Nina? All right. Thanks again, Nina. We appreciate it.
You're
All right,
welcome.
Richard, IAC report.
Okay, thanks, Brian. So in the budget world, let me start with the issue with the Board of Ed and the preschools. Chris Trieber from IAC sent out some good news, potentially good news on Friday afternoon. That says the city council has responded to the mayor's budget. And the council's calling on, I'll read what they wrote, calls on the administration to restore and baseline the $96 million for preschool special education starting in fiscal 2025. This addresses that the need for the preschool programs that got the enhanced funding last year, as well as other childcare programs to extend the day and to give them funds for, let me just get rid of my phone here. Extend the funds to give the teachers and teacher assistant a pay raise to get them up to the starting salary of public school teachers. And then unfortunately, this money all came from COVID funding, which ends in June, and there was no one was finding an ability or a route to restoring that money, and therefore that would mean the day would be shortened, and all the teachers and assistant teachers who got these increases would have the increases taken away. So thanks to all the advocates, especially advocates for children, and they're having advocates for children is sponsoring 2 town halls on April 17th at 6, and in Queens, that was for Manhattan. So Manhattan is April 17th at 6 p.m. and Queens on April 18th at 6 p.m. And I'll put the links in the chat. They really need family members to go to those town halls. We're to sign into them because the budget, hasn't been fixed yet. So that was somewhat good news. On the state budget, the state budget is, they passed another extender while they argue and figure out what to do about 2 major areas. Housing, again, is holding up the budget, and education, with the education formula this year was taking money away from school districts that where the total number of children being served went down. Before it was held harmless. So that created a bit of a ruckus. In the OPW world, we're still pushing for the 3% increase. And it still has that glitch in it that the money legislature was now requiring that 3.2% go to staff only, not to be used for expenses of the agencies. That wasn't the original intent. So either they give the 3.2 to the staff, but then they would have to include more money for the agencies. I don't think that's going to happen, but we'll continue to argue with that.
Richard, how
Yes.
can they officially call the COLA if that's the language they put in?
Because if you go back in time, before your time, Graham, a trend was something that was given to the entire agency to use as necessary. A COLA actually always was directed to staff salaries. Somehow in the last few years, COLA had more openness about it on how it could be used. And the language in the budget last year gave that freedom. It had an emphasis on direct support professionals and other staff, but as a priority, but then it could also be used to cover other expenses, such as your insurance going up and your heating, electricity, and everything else for running an agency. So we'll see where that ends up this year. The one hot issue in our world and others is the CDPAP program, which the budget was looking to cut that budget. And right now, and this is, I just learned about it this morning, it may have been out last week, but the legislature is looking to turn the CDPAP program over to a for-profit corporation called Public Partnership. And it's a multi-state organization. It's also been defunded in a number of states, including Pennsylvania. And it was be awarded as a no-bid contract. So it's billions of dollars, and it's going outside the nonprofit world. So there's a lot of dispute about that, against that, but the legislature seems to be supporting it. If I find out any more about what people should do, what actions we'll take, we'll send that to you, Brian. That's pretty much it for the budget. Last week at IAC's membership, we had Jennifer Cohen from the University of Miami in Ohio, and she did a presentation on the research they did about DSPs and what works. And I think you've probably read about this or heard about it, but the key thing is that very high percentage of DSPs enjoyed the job, and that was the highlight, but they didn't include the pay. And they also, what came out very clearly in the study is that the communication from agencies administration was not ideal. And in fact, the DSPs expressed a lot of distrust of their administration, where funds were going. And so obviously communication channels have to open up, have to involve the DSPs more in what is going on. Just for example, when you got the retention money, some agencies were holding on to the retention money, and that doesn't have to be distributed until I think next June is the deadline. And some agencies were discussing, well, that can be the carrot to keep people employed so that they don't leave. Others went ahead immediately, and it was just received by the agency, and they're going ahead and paying it to reward the staff that are there, and hopefully they don't leave. So we'll probably hear more about that study. I know IAC is going to bring her back again for either specific training sessions or for membership meetings. But it was a very good study, and Jennifer Collins is a very good presenter. Brian, you were there, right?
I was. It was a lot of interesting details. Some of it, I think, well known by anyone working in the field, and some of it is new. I think what was really good about it was it's very apparent we're hiring the right people into the field.
Mm-hmm.
We're hiring passionate people that want to be here. Now we just need to do a better job of being able to pay them and keep them.
All right. And communicating that. It was something I thought that I took away from it, that we have a lot of communication problems in our world, and it's if we communicated better, there wouldn't be that mistrust. That said, the other thing that came out of the membership meeting last week was that encouraging everybody to invite legislators to visit your programs. When I was in Albany recently and visiting different legislators, I was astounded to hear that some of the newer legislators never heard of Willowbrook. So I know Willowbrook was over 50 years ago, but that's amazing. So they need, and there were also legislators who really didn't realize the day-to-day work that DSPs do. And I was fortunate to be part of a team where a person had started as a DSP and moved all the way up, and talking about the actual day-to-day care and tasks that you do for people. And you could tell by the look on the legislator's face that, oh, I didn't realize that. So it's important to get them to see your program, to always invite them to your program. So I think that's it. I did have a question for Chris as far as the YouTube channel. If anybody has that link to post, that would be
I'll
helpful.
send it to you, Richard.
Okay. I'd like to see that. And I guess final comment is I'm glad to see Delia is going to be doing statewide. She can bring her New York City practices, share with them how, she worked with the councils. New York City is the only region in the state that has DD councils or forums like that. I know Long Island's starting to have that, but it's something that's very unique to New York City, and good. Maybe they could encourage that elsewhere in the state. So with that, I'll take any questions.
All right. Are there any questions for Richard regarding, oh, Rochelle, go ahead.
Yeah, it's more of a comment, Richard. Thank you for your report. Last year, when there was an incoming class of new legislators, the SOS Coalition, which is composed of the 5 DD councils and SWAN, statewide advocacy network of family groups, did an orientation for these new legislators, and we had very good attendance. And in that orientation, we educated them about the role of the DSP, about Willowbrook, about all the issues that they say they never heard of. So my comment is more, I really encourage providers to bring people to your programs, because apparently just talking to them doesn't lead to a lot of retention, memory retention on their part. But I think if they come and they see the program and they meet the staff and they see and they get to talk to our individuals, that maybe that could have more of a enduring impact on how they view our sector.
Yeah, I think it would definitely have more of an impact. I mean, and I've been hidden away at IAC for 30 years, but I have visited a number of programs, and I remember each of those programs. It sticks in my mind and brings me back to my early days in the institution in Massachusetts. So definitely do that. It really, really helps.
I think it would also be great to share the Direct Support Careers website with them, because some of the, or at least the Facebook, some of those videos that they put together showing the direct interactions between the people we support and the staff and stuff going on in the programs was really impactful. And if some of the elected officials can't make it out, at least showing those videos on the Facebook and the website can give a glimpse. Because I know us going and talking and saying we need money and we need funding and we need support is one thing, but then seeing the interaction, seeing that direct work through video or in person, either way is going to be more impactful, I believe.
Yep.
Okay, any other questions for Richard? Richard, do you want to plug your conference before you go?
Oh, okay, thank you. I wasn't prepared for that. I had to get my sales talk. But May 15th and 16th, IAC conference. I think it's our 11th annual. And this year it's at the UJA Center on East 59th Street. I have to make sure we've been able to post it on our website, but we have a lot of excellent speakers. We have a panel again, including Art Webb and who else we have? Brian, I don't. He caught me off guard.
Sorry. I just posted the link. You have Danny Abelson, Susan Bolling, Nellie Brady, Corin, Dr. Alonzo Kelly, Peg Gold. Right? These are the speakers that are posted. I don't know if it's all of them. I don't know how current it is. I'm sure you've added more.
I mean, I'll get a link for it and post it.
I just posted the link in the
Okay.
chat.
Okay.
The commissioner or the current commissioner will be there. The outgoing commissioner.
And good food. And there is a discount for family members. We call it the Family and Friends Fund. So look forward to seeing everybody there. And I will post the links to the town hall meetings regarding the preschool.
All right. Excellent. Thank you, Richard.
Okay, thank you.
All right, moving along. Next up, we have a brief presentation from Linda. I believe I saw her box. Yes, there she is. Hi, Linda.
I'm here.
So
Hi.
Linda is the parent and founder of My Circle of Girls NYC. So she's just going to talk a few minutes about what that group is.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Hi, everybody. My name is Linda Kochaneski, and I am a mom of a girl who just turned 20 2 weeks ago on the spectrum. And I started my group back in 2016 when she was about 12. You know, I was finding, like many of the parents find of girls with autism, that they tend to be, they're in the minority, right? Because it's many more boys with autism. And oftentimes she would be the only girl in her class. You know, she was in a class of 8, and for many years she was the only one. And it was hard to make friends, you know, so, or there would be girls, maybe there'd be one girl, but she lived in like another borough and far away, and, you know, the kids are all bused, so it's hard to connect. And so I wanted that for her, you know, what I had as a girl. And so I looked for groups out there for girls, you know, with similar issues, and didn't find a whole lot. I have since found a special needs Girl Scout troop on Staten Island, but that was recently. But anyways, I couldn't find much, so I decided I was going to start one myself. And so I connected at first with a mother in, I think she was North Carolina, who had a similar group, and she was starting something, and we connected a little bit. I think her group fell apart since, but anyways. So when I first started the group, we were at Extreme Kids and Crew, which some of you might know about. They lent us space for a couple of years. They are a special needs activity center in Brooklyn and in Queens. And we met there every month for a while. They closed during the pandemic, so my group kind of, you know, changed as everything else did for a couple of years. We lost our monthly space, but I did some virtual meetings throughout the pandemic. We had online yoga and online dance parties and online cooking classes and things like that. Since then, since we don't have a space anymore, we have been meeting out in the community. And we have been out to, you know, water parks. We've gone to some of the TDF, the autism friendly shows. We've gone to the zoo. We've had picnics. We've gone to Coney Island, all kinds of things. Our girls are very much into, you know, a lot of typical teenage things, dance parties. They love Zumba. We do yoga. We do sing-alongs. We do cooking, all kinds. And we, you know, for a while we did virtually. And actually, most recently, actually yesterday, I spoke to Jackie at Snack, which I'm sure many of you guys know about in the city, Snack NYC, which we've used over the years. And we've had a couple parties there, but we talked yesterday about me using them as a monthly space for our girls, which would be really great because they're very central. They're in Midtown, but they're near all the subways and buses. So we may be using that place soon. We've also connected with Felicity House, which some of you might know about. It's for women on the spectrum. It's in the city. And it's a wonderful program. And they have hosted us several times to introduce our girls to their program. So we've been moving around, but we may have a regular monthly space starting in June. We'll see. But anyways, over the years, my group has evolved and changed. You know, in the beginning, it was like 7 to 13. And every year when my daughter gets older, I up the age range. And I have a few other girls who started with us in the very beginning. But at this point, it's for teen girls up to, I have like early 20s. I'm not real picky about, you know, cutoff age. So I have girls because developmentally, sometimes they have a lot in common. Doesn't matter. But what it has really become is a wonderful group of girls who have made friends and support each other and do things outside of the group. Some of them, you know, I have all the 5 boroughs, so they do play dates or get-togethers throughout the boroughs. And it's been really nice for the parents too, because I have them bring, you know, a caregiver. Usually it's the mom or dad. Sometimes it's a com-head worker, but it's been a nice informal support group for the families where we share, you know, vent. How do you deal with the meltdowns? How do you deal with, you know, schools? What, you know, whatever. We share a lot of information with each other and support each other. You know, generally the parents are on one side of a large room, you know, having their bagels and coffee while the girls are with the whatever, the yoga teacher, the dance teacher, the instructor. And so the parents have formed, it's just as important for the parents. So it's become a nice family kind of thing. And I have girls right now from all the boroughs, you know, we're wide open that way. I'm always open to new girls. I don't, you know, have any, we take all levels of functioning. I have girls up, you know, all over the spectrum. And, but we do ask that a caregiver come with them just to, you know, because can't be responsible for all those girls and I have my own girl there. But it's a really nice group and we're open to new people. So if you have, you know, clients that are interested, please feel free to, you know, let me know, give them my email address. If you want to be on, I have a professionals email list that I can send out. If you want to be on that, please email me too. And I'll send it out. I send out the events so that you can let your families know. But it's a great group and I hope that we, you know, see some of your girls there.
Thank you so much, Linda. I think it's important to point out, and maybe I missed it in the beginning,
Yeah.
but you're not a waiver service. You're not a provider.
No.
You're
I'm
a
a parent
who started.
Yeah,
No, and
yeah.
I just want to make that clear for
Yeah,
people on the call. Like,
right.
this isn't something you need to apply for and get OPW
no.
approval for. This
No.
is a parent who saw a need and put together a group that she can incorporate her child in, but then knew that there were other parents like her out there. So please feel free to email her. Because this is not an OPW process. This is not an approval process. This is does your daughter want to socialize and be part of this group? That's really what it is.
Right. And so many parents right away said, oh, I have the same problem. You know, she's the only girl in her class. It's hard to meet girlfriends. And so that's how we started. Yeah. But no, there's no fees. I mean, the only fees are, you know, certain activities, like when we went to Coney Island, families paid their own way, but I don't have like dues or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. Ellen has a question for you.
No, no question. I have a boost. I've recommended many people to you, and
Oh, thank you.
Delighted.
Thank you. Ellen, what agency are you with?
Pardon?
What I know your name, but what agency are you with?
I do information and referrals for AHRC.
Oh, okay. Oh, great. Thank you.
Regularly, and
thank you so much.
Very short. People are delighted.
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions for Linda? All right. I don't see any at this. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Lucy.
sorry, Brian. I was just gonna say that if she can put the information in the chat, that would be helpful so that we can pass it along. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
And if Linda, if there's anything you want to send me to send out to the mailing list regarding events or anything like that,
oh, great.
You can always let me know. We have a lot of people that don't necessarily show up to our monthly meetings. They pop in and out here and there, but the mailing list is much bigger than what you see here today. So
I'm sure.
Please feel free. I can share any information out on our website, our Facebook, or in the email list.
Excellent. I'll do that. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for taking the time, Linda, and coming on and talking about that.
My pleasure. Thank you.
All right. Richard, also, I know you asked before I posted the YouTube link in the chat.
Yeah.
And I know what Chris was referencing before is at their last meeting, they had a representative from MTA talking about the congestion pricing and how it would impact or not impact our population. So it was definitely a good video to watch. He answered a lot of questions that I think people are afraid of when that does happen in the city. All right, next up, committee updates from the council. I know I saw some chairs on here. Any meetings you want to plug? Any updates from recent meetings?
Hi, I guess I'll go first. Hi, my name is Maria Willis. I'm my partner Lucina Clark somewhere around. We are from the Legislative Committee, and we did have our last meeting on April 10th. Some of the discussion was around advocating, like Richard mentioned, the 3.2% COLA across the board and the 4,000 wage enhancement for DSPs. We also spoke about probably working to educate parents in general on how to advocate for their family members and how to speak at hearings. And we talked about in general doing it, but also having something at the fair, the family support fair, to basically educate parents and show them how they should advocate in less than 3 minutes. Also when they go to hearing. Our next meeting is scheduled for May 8th at 11 a.m. It's the second Wednesday of every month. And we encourage everyone to continue to speak to your families, to continue to advocate, to continue to visit them locally. They're usually at the local office on Thursdays and Fridays. They're usually in Albany, Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesday. So we encourage you to continue to meet all your legislators, get familiar with them, talk to them about your needs, about your family needs. We encourage organizations as well to visit the different legislators in your district. Wherever your residential day programs are, continue to visit them and speak about our needs. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Maria.
You're welcome.
Ellen, you have a question?
I couldn't get my hand up fast enough before. I apologize. But there's a piece in the paper today about the MTA maybe violating New York City human rights law for requiring people with disabilities to book access arrive trips by 5:30 p.m. the day before the travel. The federal judge has found that it's in the city. I don't know how many people read it, but it might be something that you want to read on the transportation issue.
I will post the link in the chat because Rochelle actually shared it to me this morning, and it has really good data in there. Like there's always articles that come out and they talk about concerns, but they posted a lot of data to back up what's going on. So thank you for bringing that up. I will definitely put it in the chat.
Sorry, I'm not as agile with my fingers as I thought I was.
No, no problem.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Pilar Jones. I'm chair of the transition committee. I just wanted to share that this month's transition committee will be canceled. We're gonna regroup and figure out, what our committee is going to look like post, all of these things going on with our group. But I also wanted to just kind of share what we talked about in our last committee meeting. We asked that providers and other contacts that are going to be coming to our resource fair in June, like what do people want to see, what do people need, and what are being what are some of the things that people are looking for. And I think it was really general and great feedback that I was able to share with the council chair team. And so I wanted to just encourage everyone that if you are attending this fair this year, or you're encouraging your groups or your staff or whomever, to reach out to the various chair people of the committees, O'Brien, about what are some things that you need, or what are some of the things that the community is asking for and looking to see. I think we've done a pretty good job at getting a lot of different representative and a lot of different groups and community leaders, community resources and such. But if you could also just directly connect with us and let us know what you're looking for in June, that would also be really helpful. Also in the world of transition, I do also want to talk about the OPWDD front door videos. So recently we had an OPWDD person on the transition committee, and we were told that the videos are optional but highly encouraged, so that folks should still make the phone call because that part is required, but that the videos are not required. And this does make things a little bit different, especially when we're talking about parents and families that are not as tech savvy or don't have the internet or not have access. What I'm hearing is that some schools are going to be hosting their own like kind of social groups for parents to watch the videos all together as a group. So if there's any teachers on here, and that's how you guys would like to address it, I do think that's a really good idea, is inviting the parents and the families to watch them all together, so that they can sit around and ask questions. One thing that I am also noticing in my work as, community outreach director is that when I go to schools, a lot of schools are not as savvy about the process of OPW and like what it entails. So I really would like to also work together a little bit more with OPW and the school population on just informing teachers, transition coordinators, and such. So I'd also really like to encourage those folks that when we do have transition committee come back, that you join us, because we would like to workshop and have more conversations about this so that teachers and that are helping the students to transition can be educated on how to get the services. So we have our transition committee email address. You can feel free to email me there directly, or you can use my AHRC email. I'm going to put them both in the chat. But these were just some of the things that were being discussed in the last few transition committee meetings, and I wanted to bring that to the general group. Thank you. Paola, you have a question?
Well, first, I want to say thank you for doing the outreach to families. And I think that this has been something that is needed. I think people in the school need to be connected with OPWDD in partnership, because it pains me to know that we have students who are aging out of the school system and they're not enrolled in OPWDD. That's really, really critical to their services. So whatever you're doing, and schools in partnership with OPWDD is a great idea, and I hope it takes off, and I hope that that is you're successful.
Yeah,
because it's really needed. It's really needed.
so for those that just happen to be on the chat and don't really know like what I do, but I work for HRC New York City. I'm the director of community outreach and intake specifically in Brooklyn. It's a newer role that HRC has developed for basically to address some of these issues, right? Having somebody that can be the middleman between the community, the parents, the schools, and the programs, right? And HRC programs specifically. So my job is somebody that has worked for HRC for many years in a program setting and understand like how to get services, what the services look like, what is intake need, and all of those things have been my expertise for, the last 10 years. Now I'm going to go the other way and talk to those people and explain what it looks like, and how do you get connected to those services? What does it actually mean? So this is a new role that I've been doing for probably the last 6 months. And luckily I've had a lot of support with OPWDD representatives and from the school representatives. Obviously, Heather, my co-chair, was a big heavy hitter in the transition community. So we've been able to work together as well and make those connections. But I also started working with the lead transition person, Natalie McQueen, to get all the transition coordinators and teachers involved and how we can work together and just be a little bit more knowledgeable about the services. So if you are a teacher or you work in a school and you need assistance with getting your students, obviously my expertise is HRC because that's where I'm at. But if you need help and you want to host like a presentation or getting parents resources on how to get into these OPWDD circles, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm going to put my email and stuff in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you, Pilar. And let me just add in one of the things that we've recently been talking about at the council level is, this September, we really revamped the council, got mostly new officers, a lot of new chairs on board. And with a lot of things still remaining virtual due to lack of space and being able to go in and preventing any risk in different programs and things like that, we do have some committees that we started up that may have some crossover, and we understand everyone's time is valuable. So maybe we're gonna explore possibly combining some of the committees, because when you look on the council, we have the adult transition, but then we also have children's services and employment, and that kind of all fits into transition. So we may look at combining some of that to put less stress and pressure on families and providers to be able to get to as many meetings as in a month. But if the three of those combine in some capacity and maybe break out quarterly or something, we still haven't decided exactly what to do, but maybe they would have bigger attendance at each of those meetings, where you can touch on each of those topics and maybe not dedicate each meeting to one specific topic. Because there might be some families and some professionals out there that want to hear about each of those, but don't have 3 separate days to go to 3 separate meetings. And there is a lot of crossover there. So that is something we're aware of, and we are going to work on to try to make it easier and more accessible for everyone that's interested in attending. All right. Any other committees want to give an update or plug their next meetings?
So before you, for some reason, I'm trying to see my camera. I'm sorry, it's not coming on. But this is Lucy Omazy, again from OPWDD. Also, just want to say that each borough, we do have a local school transition coordinator that specifically works with the different schools to support them, you know, with the process of getting our individuals that are transitioning connected to services, so that at least by the time they leave school, you know, they connected with OPWDD services or their programs. So I'm hoping that, you know, some of them are already working with this team, but if there's a need to connect with them, you know, you can reach out to me and we'll make sure that we get someone to be connected to those meetings to participate as well. So.
Great. Thank you, Lucy. Jacqueline, you have a hand up?
Hi, greetings, everyone. My name is Jacqueline Tomlin. I am from the OPWDD DEI team. Some of you I've met along the way. I just wanted to give information for providers on the latest Georgetown project. I'm not sure if some of you came to the webinars last week, April 4th and April 9th, but I wanted to give an update that the provider sessions will be opening soon, an email about signing up for the provider forums went out on Friday, and I'll put that in the chat if you have any questions or would like support on how you can, as a provider, sign up and who can be a participant in that project.
All right. Thank you. Rochelle, you have a question?
Yes, welcome, Jacqueline. I'm glad you were able to attend today.
Thank you.
As a parent, I'm just wondering if there is a plan to also include individuals and families in the DEI discussion.
Absolutely, that is coming. Everything is broken down in sections. So we have the provider webinar coming up, then we'll have the family sessions coming up, and then we'll have those with lived experience coming up. At this time, the provider forums are in the beginning of May, and it will be taking place throughout May. It will be done as surveys, or for when we get to the lived experience component, there will be surveys and interviews depending on the capacity of what the person would like. But families and people with lived experiences is coming up soon. I'll place the information in the chat.
All right. Thank you. Ellen?
Can you describe what that program is? You mentioned the Georgetown program.
Well, there is OPWDD has a partnership with Georgetown University. Last June, they did families with families and person with lived experience provider forums, as well as provider forums, where they discuss how we are going to increase cultural linguistic competency here at OPWDD. And we started in June with the forums, and now we're continuing with the next part of the forums. I'm going to put the website in the chat in case you want more information and detailed information about the project.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you for asking about the project.
All right. Marjorie, I saw you had unmuted before. Do you want to plug the Children's Committee?
Yeah. Good morning. Thank you everyone for joining us. So my name is Marjorie Antoine. I'm the chair of the Children's Services Committee. We are just a forum where providers and families can come together, share resources, talk about the landscape in terms of education and what's happening across the city. And provide resources and information for the folks that join us. As Brian said earlier, we are looking at reformatting our meeting space because a lot of our challenges kind of transcend over the three areas that Brian did mention, which is, transition, employment. It's kind of all related to each other. So we are looking at revamping our meeting. Our next meeting was supposed to be April 24th, but I do believe that that might be canceled so that we can really restructure and come up with something that's going to work for our families, as well as providers that are willing to join us. But it's a wonderful opportunity for folks to come together, learn about what's happening. And a lot of our meetings right now have been kind of focused on advocacy and what's happening in terms of children's services and proposed budget cuts across the city, particularly in the space of library and support services, which would be devastating to our kids. A lot of our kids need those library services over the weekend because they don't have access to internet and or computers. So not being able to have that access is going to be detrimental to their ability to perform and do well in school. So that was really part of our focus and what we can do to get families to get out there and help persuade the city council to find the funds to allow those programs to keep going. But we will keep you posted in terms of the next date. Typically, our information is all posted on the website. Brian does an amazing job of keeping everyone kind of alerted and knowing in terms reach out to folks and give folks the update.
And just to add on to that really quick, thanks to Carrie Banks, who, everyone in this group knows. She's part of a lot of our meetings and a great resource for us all. She has connected me with the coordinator of adult services at Brooklyn Public Library to kind of attend a staff meeting of theirs, or at least work with her at some point to talk about what how can the Brooklyn Library better understand our population and help educate their staff on their programming as it comes to the population we support. So I think it was great that they're interested in that. We're trying to find time to set up an initial meeting and make that happen where we can educate their staff so activities could be more appropriate and focused on supporting people in the IDD world in Brooklyn specifically. All right. I think that was from everything I saw, everyone from the council committee. So thank you guys for that. And if anyone is ever looking to join a council meeting or doesn't know when an event is coming up, you can go to our website, bkddcouncil.org. There's a calendar on there with direct links to all of our meetings with the Zoom links or the Ring Central links or whatever's being used, as well as flyers and other information like that. We're about to go to announcements, but I just want to thank again David for attending from Senator Prasad's office. We really appreciate Senator Prasad always has our backs when it comes to advocacy for the IDD population. He did post a flyer with some of the senator's upcoming events, so please take a look at that in the chat. But she really is the champion for our field and always speaks up on our behalf and attends to all of our events. So thank you, David. Thank you, Senator Prasad. We truly appreciate that. All right, so now we can move on to announcements. So if anyone has any agency announcements, cool events they want to share with the group, now's the time. Please pop in or raise your hand or put it in the chat. Go ahead, Wei.
Thanks, Brian. Hi, everyone. My name is Wei Sang. Long time no see. Finally get a chance to come back. Just a quick announcement. Our family reimbursement program still have funding. If you know any families need help, please direct them, contact me. I will attach my flyer to the chart. Feel free to keep it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Jay?
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Jay Kleinman from LifeSpire. We have crisis intervention, short-term case management, referral, linkage, advocacy, all that available for Brooklyn residents. And I'll put the information in the chat. Put my cell phone and my email address in there. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you, Jay. Maria, I know you're putting a bunch in the chat. Do you want to announce it?
Hi, this is Maria Willis again. I did put two items in the chat. I wanted to announce our summer wheelchair cleaning for Brooklyn is April 20th at Linda Birch Gerardi Center. That's in 921 East New York Avenue. And the flyer is in the chat. Please RSVP. And also we're having a open house. They have an Article 16 open house, and that's on May 22nd from 10:30 to 1:30. And that's also in Brooklyn, East New York, Crown Heights area. The flyer is also in the chat. Thank you. Oh, did I mention the CP Unlimited, formerly known as Cerebral Palsy Association of New York State? Thanks.
Thank you. All right, next we have Laura.
Hello, I just wanted to introduce myself for those of you who haven't met me yet. I'm working with Carrie Banks at Brooklyn Public Library Inclusive Services. And we have a lot of cool events coming up. One that I put in the chat that I really want to make sure a lot of people know about is at Central Library, which is at 10 Grand Army Plaza. So very accessible, easy to get to. We're having an autistic adults panel. It was initially going to be for Autism Acceptance Month, but then we put it in May to be, so we have plenty of time to like prepare and let people know about it. But the idea is that like so many autistic teens don't get a chance to see autistic adults just kind of living their lives and talking about what it's like to, you know, work, go to school, do normal adult things. And so we have two really cool people who are on the panel right now. We might add an additional person. So I put in the chat and a link to the online thing. I think I can also put the flyer in, but just let me know if anyone's interested in going. We're really excited about it. All right. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Laura. Paula?
Hi, I just want to remind everyone about New York Lawyers for the Public Interest and with free assistance under the Disability Justice Program to people with disabilities, but we also provide a whole set of trainings that are available to agencies. All that you need to do is to contact the main number and ask for a topic under the areas that we have experienced, like housing, even access a ride. We have a person dedicated to transit accessibility, access a ride. We also have, you know, special location trainings, and many of you know I do all the future planning ones about guardianships and supplemental needs trust and all that. So it's a lot of resources available to you that you can take advantage of. We also have another program that is called the Clearinghouse, and they do provide a lot of trainings to nonprofits from, they're all free, by the way, nonprofits governance, to how to engage board members, how to find board members. So it's a lot of information. Go to our website, find what is of your interest and give us a call, and we find you someone within our programs to, you know, either do a training or have a conversation or, you know, or register for those specific programs or nonprofits. Thank you.
Thank you. And anyone interested, Paula will be at our family support fair in June, representing New York Lawyers, so you can come meet her live and in person and ask questions. No more little Zoom boxes for once. Any other announcements?
Brian, this is Sandy Naper. How are you?
Hi, Sandy.
I've got a few announcements.
Go right ahead.
Okay. This is Sandy Naper from the Deaf Community Network, and we're having some free webinars coming up soon.
It's
We're
a lot
having one.
background, Sandy.
Yeah, I know. There's something going on in the room with me. I'm sorry.
To hear you.
You know, Can you hear me better now?
We
Can you
hear
hear
you,
me
we hear you enough, and I know you put your information in the chat, so you can go ahead and they could also find it in the chat.
Okay, so I'll do it real quick. We've got something coming up this Thursday, April 18th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. It's called Educational Neglect, and Gary Schulman will be our speaker. On May 2nd, we're having executive cognitive functions, why they are important and what parents can do to promote their development. And that'll be on Thursday, May 2nd, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And on Thursday, May 9th, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., we're having the impact of stress on parent and child well-being. Dr. Judy Grossman will be our speaker, and they're free. We always provide Mandarin and Spanish interpretation, and I dropped all the flyers in the chat. Thank you. Sorry it's so noisy.
That's okay. Thank you, Sandy. Hope everything's okay where you are. Any other announcements? I know there's a lot in the chat, and as hopefully you guys are aware, after every meeting, they're all recorded. I try to post the chat on the website, usually within the same day, as well as the video, links to our YouTube, but it's directly on the website under the resource page. So you'll find all of our past meetings as well as all the past chats. If there's no other announcements, it looks like you guys are getting back 45 minutes to your day. I don't think anyone will complain about that.
Not complaining.
Nope.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
everyone.
Thank you,
Have a
everyone. And please
nice
remember
Be
to
well,
register
everyone.
for our event in June.
Have a good day, y'all. Be well. Bye-bye.
Take care,
Bye.
everyone.